Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a scent safari episode. Today we're going to look at Pekji Perfumes. Now, why I wanted to talk about Pekji Perfumes, I talked heavily about this base notes list, the top 500 modern fragrances, and I saw a couple fragrances by this house, Pekji Perfumes. I had no idea about this house. So I went to the website, I emailed the perfumer, and he was gracious enough to send me samples of his fragrances. So let's talk about the fragrances. Now, Holy Shit is the name of the first one. I can't talk about Holy Shit because my bottle was empty. I don't know what happened. Maybe it leaked. It's all good, maybe whatever was in there evaporated. It took a little bit to get here. These perfumes come from Turkey. The perfumer Umair makes them in Turkey, so I can't talk about Holy Shit. They all retail 30 ml for $105, and they're all available from the perfumer's website, which I'm going to link to in the description. So the first one we're going to talk about is the one in the end. Holy Shit, we can't talk about. So this one is called Rue, R-U-H. I think that's how it's pronounced, Rue. And it says, Rue creates the smell of my office first thing in the morning. As I enter through the wooden doors, I'm greeted by the smell of freshly brewed Arabic coffee, gawa, along with the accompanying milk tea karak that is brewed for a long time with lots of cardamom and the distinct fizziness of saffron. I was literally put in awe of how he had basically headspaced a place in which he had not been to prior. Rue was absolutely bursting with life and splendor. So for me, I'm not that gassed up by Rue. I think it's a good fragrance. If you like this sort of coffee, if you like the sort of rose, saffron, cardamom thing, Montal makes a lot of fragrances like this. Doesn't have the oud in it. You might like this one. I thought it was good. It didn't blow me away. It's not something I'm very passionate about. The next one, Odun, $105, 30 ml. A bouquet of woods. Odun is the hyperwood, it says. It's a platonic ideal of wood that connects at one end to the sky with a structure that is airy and floral. It connects at the other end to the earth with dank root smells of vetiver and resin. It opens in the middle, a twisting forever of heartwood, and as it develops a humanity, a clean midsection emerges like a tree shaved of bark or a torso casting off a t-shirt. This is a basic, unadorned perfume, a fundamental layer, so to speak. Its complexity is simple. It grows as a tree might grow without pretense and almost without awareness. Guys, Odun is the best wood fragrance I've ever smelled. And that's talking about rich wood, I think I know what I'm doing at this point. Odun is just, it literally smells to me like if you're out in the forest, a damp, dark forest, wet, and there's like a tree that fell and the wood is sort of just rotting and it's got that beautiful rotted woody smell, but not like dank or like not like decomposition, just sweet, the essence of woods. It's like it's unbelievable. I've never smelled a wood scent like this. And it's like 3D wood. It's like that wood is in front of you. It's like someone just took, you ever see those, someone like heats up I forget what they're called, like an iron, and they use it to etch like stuff into wood, or like to put their name, their initials into wood, and you smell that wood burning a little bit when the hot metal hits the wood. That's what this smells like. And I've never smelled a fragrance that captured like the hot wood the way that Odun does. It's bananas. It's the best wood fragrance you're ever gonna smell. I love Xerjoff. To me, this shit's on rich wood. It's $105. Nothing is fucking with this in terms of a wood fragrance. Boom. The next one we're gonna talk about is called Umair, right? So obviously it means seawater. And this one, white cloth table by the island shore. The description: Umair starts off with a strong note of chlorine, like a newly washed floor in a hospital, but the ocean comes wafting in, briny and metallic. It brings me back to my childhood when my uncle used to take me and my brother on fishing trips to Lake Ontario in his small motorboat. I always loved the combination of gasoline fumes mixed with dark algae on a humid summer day, and that's what Umair is. It's marvelous. Yes, it fucking is. It is marvelous. This is one of my favorite aquatic fragrances of all time, far and away. Like, I know there's a lot of reviewers out there that are sick of aquatics, and I feel the same way. Like, for me, I need aquatic to like to bend a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To do something funky, to go left, to not just be an aquatic. Because to me, like, my favorite aquatic for me is Salmarin by Healy. And that's $180, and to me, not much is fucking with that. So if you're gonna make an aquatic, you gotta do something special. And man, like, yo, this is crazy, guys. This scent is crazy. The chlorine with the C note, and the briny and metallic C note is just so fresh. Like, it's another level of freshness. And what it reminds me of, to be honest with you guys, is when I was a kid, my parents, we had a summer home in Connecticut, and there was a lake, a freshwater lake, and next to the lake there was an indoor pool. And so, you go in the pool, you'd have that chlorine smell, and then you go to the lake, or you do one after the other, either way, and you'd have that fresh water and that chlorine, and just this really, it smelled like dumb, stupid clean. And that's exactly how this smells. It's got a little bit of sweetness, there's a little bit of florals here, but it's just like dumb clean. It's like, and it's so left. You would think, oh, chlorine, like, this shit is gonna smell ridiculous. Like, why the fuck is this dude putting chlorine in a fragrance? Yo, it just works. Like, on a level that I can't even. I smell this shit, I was like, yo, this guy's a fucking genius, this Umair guy. And I think that's what I think. Like, this, doing 100% full bottles of, without a doubt. It's not even a question. All right, the last one we're going to talk about is called Kier number 6, guys. You know what that means, leather 6. A trio of leathers merged into one. Description here: Kier captures something from a bygone era while maintaining an axis secured in the here and now, devoid of any postmodernistic nostalgia generated when deliberately intent on a course of retrospection. Sounds like some bullshit to me. But indeed, just as Hawkins embraced the modern musical direction of the time, allowing the authority of his tenor to contribute monumentally to the music, in the writer's humble opinion, Kier 5 adds a momentous symbol of punctuation to the unfolding depth of Perfume's history regarding the leather genre. Yeah, to me, like, guys, like, I just keep it 100 with you. This is just a hardcore leather fragrance. If you fuck with, like, animalic hardcore leathers, you'll like this. I kind of, like, have my leather fragrances that I love, obviously, like Tuscan leather, like Yuko Xerjoff, XJ, like, those are like my leathers. This one's dope, and it's really good. Reminds me a little bit of like Mona de Orio's like leather a little bit. It's just real hardcore, real like b-boy leather, and it definitely does its thing. Like, if you like that animalic leather for the price, you're not going to do much better. So basically, I would have loved to have smelled holy shit. I think that was like an animalic fragrance, but I emailed Umair after, and I was like, yo, man, I love your fragrances. And what, to me, like, the way how these are all related to a story, like Umair's story, to me, that's just what this is about. Like, I hate to keep bringing it back to me because that shit is lame, but like with Maxed Out, I wanted to tell like my story, like part of my life, like, take something that Perfume was missing. I feel like there's something that just wasn't represented. Even if there's tens of thousands of bottles of fragrance that have been made, no one was talking about the things that I remembered smelling. It wasn't out there like that. And I think when someone can take shit from their life and put it in a bottle, and it's different from everything else that's out there, that's when Perfume is at its best, and that's when we get real treats. And that's sort of the same thing where, like, I don't know if you guys ever watch food shows, but like, you watch dudes like Anthony Bourdain, or in the newer generation, Eddie Wong, and dudes like Action Bronson even, and they'll tell you, like, these dudes go to the illest restaurants in the world, right? Like, fucking Bourdain was at El Bulli. He went all over the world. Perse, Thomas Keller, just, the illest chefs in the world cook for Bourdain. And he'll tell you, like, his favorite spots to eat were at some grandma's house in the Soviet Union. And it's like, because that's when you get the real. That's when you get the real, like, that's when you get shit that's generational, passed down for hundreds of years. And I think perfume is sort of the same way. Like, yeah, it's awesome to have Raja Dove $1,200 fragrance, you know, because those smell great, you know. And I got my first Raja fragrance recently, and it's like one of my favorite fragrances of all time, you know. So, but then in the same vein, the dude that's sitting in his crib, fucking around with essential oils that he's getting from a local supplier, and he's trying to make shit that smells like his childhood. It's hard to beat that in terms of a real experience with perfume. And I don't know that I've ever smelled a better real experience with perfume than my experience with Pekji. So I'm just dumb excited by this line. I'd love to know if any of you guys have heard of it and have smelled these. And if not, guys, get yourself samples, because it's as good as it gets. It really is as good as it gets. Like, this is the height of the indie perfume movement, but fuck that, it's the height of perfume in general. Like, this is where it's at. This is as good as it gets. So I fuck with it. I'm co-signing it. I'm gonna link in the description. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I'll be back with more videos later this week, guys. You know what it is. My name is Maximilian.
Trickle down the sleepy subway train.